Jnana and Karma. Notes of a lecture delivered in London on November 23, 1895. The greatest force is derived from the power of thought. The finer the element, the more powerful it is. The silent power of thought influences people even at a distance, because mind is one as well as many. The universe is a cobweb, minds are spiders. The universe equals the phenomena of one universal being. He, seen through our senses, is the universe. This is Maya. So the world is illusion, that is, the imperfect vision of the real, a semi revelation, even as the sun in the morning is a red ball. Thus, all evils and wickedness are but weakness, the imperfect vision of goodness. A straight line projected infinitely becomes a circle. The search for good comes back to self. I am the whole mystery, God. I am a body, the lower self, and I am the Lord of the universe. Why should a man be moral and pure? Because this strengthens his will. Everything that strengthens the will by revealing the real nature is moral. Everything that does the reverse is immoral. The standard varies from country to country, from individual to individual. Man must recover from his state of slavery to laws, to words, and so on. We have no freedom of the will now, but we shall have when we are free. Renunciation is this giving up of the world. Through the senses, anger comes and sorrow comes. As long as renunciation is not there, self and the passion animating it are different. At last they become identified, and the man is an animal at once. Become possessed with the feeling of renunciation. I once had a body, was born, struggled, and died. What awful hallucinations! To think that one was cramped in a body, weeping for salvation. But does renunciation demand that we all become ascetics? Who then is to help others? Renunciation is not asceticism. Are all beggars Christ? Poverty is not a synonym for holiness, often the reverse. Renunciation is of the mind. How does it come? In a desert, when I was thirsty, I saw a lake. It was in the midst of a beautiful landscape. There were trees surrounding it, and their reflections could be seen in the water upside down. But the whole thing proved to be a mirage. Then I knew that every day for a month I had seen this, and only that day, being thirsty, I had learnt it to be unreal. Every day for a month I should see it again, but I should never take it to be real. So when we reach God, the idea of the universe, the body and so on will vanish. It will return afterwards, but next time we shall know it to be unreal. The history of the world is the history of persons like Buddha and Jesus. The passionless and unattached do most for the world. Picture Jesus in the slums. He sees beyond the misery. You, my brethren, are all divine. His work is calm. He removes causes. You will be able to work for the good of the world when you know for a fact that this work is all illusion. The more unconscious this work, the better, because it is then the more superconscious. Our search is not for good or evil, but happiness and good are nearer to truth than their opposites. A man ran a thorn into his finger, and with another thorn took it out. The first thorn is evil. The second thorn is good. The self is that peace which passeth beyond both evil and good. The universe is melting down. Man draws nearer to God. For one moment he is real, God. He is redifferentiated, a prophet. Before him now the world trembles. A fool sleeps and wakes a fool, a man unconscious and superconscious. He returns with infinite power, purity, and love. The God-man. This is the use of the superconscious state. Wisdom can be practiced even on a battlefield. The Gita was preached so. There are 3 states of mind: the active, the passive, and the serene. The passive state is characterized by slow vibrations, the active by quick vibrations, and the serene by the most intense vibrations of all. Know that the soul is sitting in the chariot. The body is the chariot. The outer senses are the horses, and the mind the reins, and the intellect the charioteer. So man crosses the ocean of Maya. He goes beyond. He reaches God. When a man is under the control of his senses, he is of this world. When he has controlled the senses, he has renounced. Even forgiveness, if weak and passive, is not true. Fight is better. Forgive when you could bring legions of angels to the victory. Krishna, the charioteer of Arjuna, hears him say, "Let us forgive our enemies," and answers, "You speak the words of wise men, but you are not a wise man, but a coward." As a lotus leaf, living in the water yet untouched by it, so should the soul be in the world. This is a battlefield. Fight your way out. Life in this world is an attempt to see God. Make your life a manifestation of will strengthened by renunciation. We must learn to control all our brain centers consciously. The first step is the joy of living. Asceticism is fiendish. To laugh is better than to pray. Sing, get rid of misery. Do not, for heaven's sake, infect others with it. Never think God sells a little happiness and a little unhappiness. Surround yourself with flowers and pictures and incense. The saints went to the mountain tops to enjoy nature. The second step is purity. The third is full training of the mind. Reason out what is true from what is untrue. See that God alone is true. If for a moment you think you are not God, great terror will seize you. As soon as you think, "I am He," great peace and joy will come to you. Control the senses. If a man curses me, I should still see in him God, whom through my weakness I see as a curser. The poor man to whom you do good is extending a privilege to you. He allows you, through his mercy, to worship him thus. The history of the world is the history of a few men who had faith in themselves. That faith calls out the divinity within. You can do anything. You fail only when you do not strive sufficiently to manifest infinite power. As soon as a man or a nation loses faith, death comes. There is a divine within that cannot be overcome either by church dogmas or by blackguardism. A handful of Greeks speak wherever there is civilization. Some mistakes there must always be. Do not grieve. Have a great insight. Do not think. What is done is done. Oh, that it were done better. If man had not been God, humanity would by this time have become insane with its litanies and its penitence. None will be left, none destroyed. All will in the end be made perfect. Say day and night, "Come up, my brothers, you are the infinite ocean of purity. Be God, manifest as God." What is civilization? It is the feeling of the divine within. When you find time, repeat these ideas to yourself and desire freedom. That is all. Deny everything that is not God. Assert everything that is God. Mentally assert this day and night, so the veil grows thinner. I am neither man nor angel. I have no sex nor limit. I am knowledge itself. I am He. I have neither anger nor hatred. I have neither pain nor pleasure. Death or birth I never had. For I am knowledge absolute and bliss absolute. I am He. My soul. I am He. Find yourself bodiless. You never had a body. It was all superstition. Give back the divine consciousness to all the poor, the downtrodden, the oppressed, and the sick. Apparently, every 500 years or so, a wave of this thought comes over the world. Little waves arise in many directions, but one swallows up all the others and sweeps over society. That wave does this which has most character at its back. Confucius, Moses, and Pythagoras, Buddha, Christ, Mohammed, Luther, Calvin, and the Sikhs, Theosophy, spiritualism, and the like. All these mean only the preaching of the divine in man. Never say man is weak. Wisdom yoga is no better than the others. Love is the ideal and requires no object. Love is God. So even through devotion, we reach the subjective God. I am He. How can one work unless one loves city, country, animals, the universe? Reason leads to the finding of unity in variety. Let the atheist and the agnostic work for the social good. So God comes. But this you must guard against. Do not disturb the faith of any. For you must know that religion is not in doctrines. Religion lies in being and becoming, in realization. All men are born idolaters. The lowest man is an animal. The highest man is perfect. And between these two, all have to think in sound and color, in doctrine and ritual. The test of having ceased to be an idolater is, when you say I, does the body come into your thought or not? If it does, then you are still a worshipper of idols. Religion is not intellectual jargon at all, but realization. If you think about God, you are only a fool. The ignorant man by prayer and devotion can reach beyond the philosopher. To know God, no philosophy is necessary. Our duty is not to disturb the faith of others. Religion is experience. Above all and in all, be sincere. Identification brings misery because it brings desire. Thus, the poor man sees gold and identifies himself with the need of gold. Be the witness. Learn never to react.